Welcome back, American Family Radio Network, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. Listen, folks, American Family Radio has come alongside again this year for our Christmas Critter campaign. We come alongside Gospel for Asia. We do this every year. Folks, you have an opportunity for a small price. There's 19 different options to supply, to give a family in an impoverished area in Asia, something that will impact their life, not only economically and maybe impact the whole village, but impact their life for eternity. These are gifts of animals, chickens, goats, water buffalo. There's other things there as well, but these are things that are going to impact their lives forever. And it is an incredible campaign. We love it. My wife and I have been doing it since its inception. We did it a long time ago as a small group. That's something you might want to do. We've done it with our children. Before they were married, our children still do it. It's a great, great opportunity. These families will hear about Jesus and the ultimate gift that he offers. And we want you to come alongside and participate. They're given this gift by a pastor or a missionary, a national pastor or missionary, one that is from their community, one that is speaks the language, and it has an incredible and powerful impact. Every single nickel, there is Gospel for Asia, such a strong organization, a great organization. They take nothing out of this. 100% of this goes to buy the chickens, the rabbits, the goats, the pigs, whatever it is, 100%. And for a very small gift of about, I think the smallest gift may be about $21 or $12. I'm just looking here. $11. $11, you can get a pair of rabbits and so on. So there is, a very inexpensive way to have an impact for Christ, and I hope you'll do it. Go to afr.net and click on the Christmas Critter campaign, or go to 877-907-4628. That's 877-907-GOAT, or go to afr.net, and we hope you'll join us. 866-300-9298, 866-300-9298. Of course, Obamacare is a huge issue. I don't want it to go away. I told you I needed to talk about that. There's a clip. Listen to this. This is from Chris Wallace yesterday. He's talking to Zeke Emanuel from, he was one of the architects of Obamacare. He's interviewing him. Listen to this.
The president never said you were going to have unlimited choice of any doctor in the country you want to go.
Wait, no. He asked a question. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Did he not say that, sir?
He didn't say you can have unlimited choice.
It's a simple yes or no question. Did he say if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor?
Yes, but look, if you want to pay more for an insurance company that covers your doctor, you can do that. This is a matter of choice. People are going to have a choice as to whether they want to pay a certain amount for a selective network or pay more for a broader network.
Which will mean your premiums will probably go up.
They get that choice. That's a choice
which means your premium may go up over what you were paying. So that, in other words...
No one guaranteed you that your premium wouldn't increase. Premiums have been going up.
The president guaranteed me I could keep my doctor.
Under president, and if you want to, you can pay for it.
Oh, come on, are you kidding me? How do they have the guts? How do they have the guts to go on the air and say these things? This is absolutely incredible to me that this continues to go on. And what do you mean he didn't guarantee it? He even gave numbers, the president, in the very first State of the Union speech, and held that throughout the entire campaign of approving Obamacare, that rates under this plan for every family were going to go down, I think he said on an average of 12% or something along those lines. What do you mean he didn't say that? This is insanity. And the spin continues. Jay Carney made some comments that nothing, I'm not going to play the clip, Devin, it's too long, but it's not that it's too long. I got a full board here. I'll try to get to some phones, but let me just summarize. Jay Carney basically said that, noting that the economy was in a free-for-all and job losses were terrible when Obama took office. Really? They're not anymore? There's more people unemployed today, by the way, just for the facts, folks, than there were when he took office. Make no mistake about that. But so it doesn't matter whether you bring on 11 million jobs if you lose 12. It's irrelevant. But anyway, he is saying that until we saw positive job growth, soon as we saw Obamacare come into play. Are you kidding? Anyway, I don't want to play the clip because it's going to aggravate me so much. It's not. And then Candy Crawley, listen to her. This is from CNN, talking about what is happening right now as the president is on his PR campaign.
For the first time, when you're kind of watching the president, you really get the nexus of PR and policy. Because if he cannot, and he's their best spokesman, let's face it, get out there and sell this, the policy collapses. So there is very much the need and the feel that the president and all hands on deck at this point have to be out there trying to sell this thing, lest it collapse because people go, you know what, disaster, I don't want to touch it.
It's a disaster. I don't want to touch it. And when she says people out there are saying that, I don't think she's really talking about the average person. I think she's talking about the Democrats. Right now, we've got Democrats saying, I got to get away from this guy. I got to get away from this plan. I got to somehow do something that I can appeal to my voters with something, because my opponent in the next election, all my opponent is going to do is say, I would have never voted for it, and he's going to win. They don't know what to do with it. And if the president can't sell it, I agree with her. I don't agree with her much, but I agree with her that if the president can't sell it, nobody can say it. He's the guy. This is Obamacare. Remember how much he said himself, how much he liked that? I mean, this is Obamacare. I know they're not saying that now. It's Affordable Care Act, and pretty soon they're going to drop the word affordable because there's nothing affordable about it, and all you're going to hear about is the Care Act. So it is, if he can't sell it, nobody's going to want to touch it. And I don't think it can be sold, because I think the American people's eyes are, for the first time in a long time, wide open. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, I was talking about the budget. Then we're going to get to the phones. As I was talking about the budget, one of the things that I forgot to mention was one of the things that Paul Ryan is proposing is that we get the unemployment cost. So right now, collecting unemployment, there's 26 weeks of unemployment you can collect. But there's that emergency extension, remember, that takes it up to 99 weeks. And they would like, and in January 1st, that expires. And it goes to 26 weeks, which means millions of people are going to get thrown off of unemployment. And so the Democrats are saying this is disaster for Republicans that they're proposing this. Now, the idea or the theory is that there is no incentive for them to go out and look for a job. Now, the Republicans would love this to happen. They go on the unemployment rate, which is going to drive the unemployment. They go on the unemployment rolls as soon as they start looking for a job. They go on. They're going to get counted now as unemployed as soon as they start looking for a job, and that's going to drive the unemployment rate out. Leading up to the election, that would be a good thing. I'm not saying that's why they want to do it. In theory, what the Republicans are saying, I believe in, I think is accurate, I'm okay with. Here's the problem I have. And this kind of goes against, so all of you that criticize me as this free market economist, I'm going to take the side I'm going to take the other side for a minute. I agree with the premise. But listen, folks, 1.3 million people are in dire straits. Right now, today, there are 3 people looking to get for every one job opening. For every job opening, there are 3 unemployed right now. So all I'm saying is, I think the Republicans on this are barking up the wrong tree, in the sense that what we need, which we can't seem to get, is a bipartisan agreement and a will in Washington to begin to create robust job growth and a strong economy. when there is an agreement on that, because I don't care what the job numbers say, they're wrong. It's a lie, it's deception. So they know that in their heart of hearts. We cannot change this emergency legislation, even though from an economic standpoint, I can't argue the fact that it might not be a good thing, but the unintended consequence of that are all those people getting more heavily involved in government and other government entitlement kinds of programs. We've got to think through this. So again, we're looking at a problem and we're looking at the easy solution, because the hard solution is creating robust job growth. The hard solution is allowing a free market economy to work. See, when that happens, the issue won't be an issue right now, because there will be people getting jobs and finding jobs. But we're not addressing the problem with a solution that is going to be a long-term solution for the good of people and the good of the economy. And that's the problem I have with it. So Rand Paul says this.
I do support unemployment benefits for the 26 weeks that they're paid for. If you extend it beyond that, you do a disservice to these workers. There was a study that came out a few months ago, and it said if you have a worker that's been unemployed for 4 weeks and on unemployment insurance and one that's on 99 weeks, which would you hire? Every employer, nearly 100%, said they will always hire the person who's been out of work 4 weeks. When you allow people to be on unemployment insurance for 99 weeks, you're causing them to become part of this perpetual unemployed group in our economy. And it really, while it seems good, it actually does a disservice to the people you're trying to help.
Yeah, and there's some truth to that. But first of all, that study is based on 20-year-old data, number one. And secondly, you need to understand that employers say that. That is true. And I agree with it. And I understand the premise of that as a free market capitalist. But understand this. Jobs are so few. If you're an employer, you're hiring somebody, you're going to take the best qualified out of the 300 applications you have. And obviously, you're going to take the person that was working as recently as possible. I mean, it's just common sense. It goes back to the same problem. When there's robust job growth, employers, if you pose the question to employers, when there are not enough people to fulfill your requirement for hiring that have been, if you take all of those that have been unemployed for only 26 weeks, when that pool runs out, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That pool is going to become irrelevant when there is robust job growth. Rand Paul goes on to say this.
The president never said you were going to have unlimited choice of any doctor in the country you want to go.
Okay, so I was looking for clip 270, Devin. So Rand Paul, after he said that, goes on to say this.
There was a little girl, you may have heard about her. She wanted $100, and she decided she'd write a note to God. She said, "Dear God, would you send me $100? I'll do good things with it." So postmaster got the letter, and he didn't know what to do with it, so he sent it to the president. The president said, "Well, that's cute. Why don't you said to the secretary, why don't you send her $5? She'll think that's a lot of money." So she gets the $5, and she's like, but her parents said, always send a thank you. When you receive a gift, always send a thank you. So she said, "Dear God, thanks for the money, but next time don't send it through Washington. They stole 95% of it." Now, really, I could just stop there because that's essentially the plan I'm going to tell you.
I mean, so Rand Paul gets the idea of government interference, and he gets the idea that government, the plan that he is going to talk about is the government's plan is to tax us to death. Government's plan is not to create robust job growth in order to create increased revenues to the government. It's not part of their plan, because that plan would involve some sort of embracing of capitalism, and they're not going to do that. You can count on it. So, my point is, you can say you've got to have both. If you know that government is out to grow the size of government and to continue to tax, then you might as well leave the unemployment benefits where they are, because the fact of the matter is those people are going to become destitute because they're not going to find jobs, because there's not going to be any jobs created, and they're going to end up on entitlement programs, other entitlement programs. You can't have it both ways. So I still say that I don't disagree with the premise of the argument. As a matter of fact, I embrace it and I agree wholeheartedly with it. That's not the point. But the point is, you got to think before you just arbitrarily make a cut without something to replace it. And the only thing that replaces unemployment is employment. That's it. It's like saying that banks have to lend money when there's nobody putting in loan applications. Small businesses are saying, I don't want any money. What do I want money for? I'm not going to apply for a loan. I don't know if my business is going to grow. You're asking somebody to say, go out and look for a job, get off of unemployment. Where are you going to find a job? There are no jobs. So you're putting the cart before the horse. So how are you going to, just by throwing them off doesn't mean you're creating a job. You got to get the jobs created first. And I don't understand how that's so hard to comprehend for Washington. 866-300-9298. We'll be right back.